Hello, this is Dr. Mewborn, and this is your midterm review for the book of Galatians. Let's go ahead and get started into this review. I want you to know a lot about the purpose of the book of Galatians, kind of know about how it starts with Paul and Barnabas and what they were preaching, understand the Council of Jerusalem. Look at things like this. This is going to be something that I'll be looking for on your exam. Also, the literary context, kind of understanding the book of Galatians as an Apolline epistle, but it's historical, doctrinal, and practical insights for all of us that we can take away from it, and how it's broken down into three different areas: Paul's apostleship, salvation, sanctification, those things. It'd be good if you knew this map, Paul's missionary journeys. The main thing that I'm going to look at is just Paul's first missionary journey, where he starts in Jerusalem, goes up to Antioch, then around, and goes up into South Galatia, Asia Minor, all that, and then he comes back. And so you're going to need to know some of those types of things. I want you to also to be able to talk about the date of the writing, as we've looked at the writing or the authorship of this would be around 48 to 49 AD. This is before the Council of Jerusalem, and so here are a few reasons why that is the date. And so those are some of the things that you will need to kind of hone in on. And then next, I would talk about the marks of an apostle. These are things that I've just put together, but I definitely want you to have these things. There's 7 of them here, and I want you to be able to talk about the marks of an apostle and what makes somebody unique as an apostle with a capital A. It's a very big deal. You need to know the churches in Galatia, the South Galatia that we talked about: Antioch, Iconium, Lystra, Derbe, and kind of know this area. This is modern day Turkey. Know a little bit about the area today. Then we're going to talk about the freedom only comes through Jesus Christ, and kind of know that theme, know the doctrinal emphases of this, the different things there that are just so important, about Paul's apostleship, the Mosaic law, the promises of God, and of course the salvific and sanctifying work of Jesus Christ. Then also it'd be good to know how Paul makes a strong case for the exclusivity of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Understand that idea of exclusivity, that there is only one way to God, and it's through the person of Jesus Christ. The next thing is Paul talks about he's a chief sinner to Timothy. He tells him that. And talk about why he is a chief sinner. Know those types of things. Why is he that way? And here's several verses to explain that. And then going a little bit further, talk about Paul's testimony: educated in Jerusalem, rising Jewish leader, persecutor of Christians, conversion in Damascus, preacher of the gospel, and maybe give a little bit of an account of his conversion experience on the road to Damascus. Excuse me. And then a little bit more about his apostleship, about how he was set apart from before he was born, and then also called by the grace of God. And then Acts 9:15 talks about how he's a chosen instrument of God. Then you go a little bit further into where Paul opposes Peter. I would know what this is all about. Why does Paul oppose Peter? What is the problem? What is Peter doing? And why is Paul calling him out? And then Peter is confronted, and you need to kind of know these things. And I go back to Acts chapter 10. Peter goes to see the Gentile named Cornelius. And why does that matter in the essence of this, what's going on? And then why does Peter stand condemned where he is? Why is there a struggle there? And then Paul teaches about justification. In our endeavor to be justified in Christ, we too were found to be sinners. And so understand this, mainly this word justification, what it means to be right with God, cleared of all guilt, peace with God, made just as if you'd never done anything wrong. Then we talked about the law, and we talked about how x-rays don't fix us. They just show us what's wrong with us, and so the law of God doesn't fix us. Going on past that, just talk about this. For through the law I died to the law so that I might live to God. The law shows people what's wrong with them. The law is incapable of saving and sanctifying a person. The law guides us to Jesus Christ. And so this is how the law works in the life. the Jews first, but then we see how it actually impacts people that are Gentiles as well. Galatians 3:3. Know about this verse. Are you so foolish, having begun by the Spirit? Are you now being perfected by the flesh? Foolish means non thinking. Here's the thing Christianity starts with a spirit. A person receives the Spirit by faith and must continue to be filled with the Spirit for sanctification. Ephesians 5:18. Do not get drunk with wine, for that leads to debauchery, but be filled with the Spirit. And I showed you this simple little illustration: soccer ball filled with concrete. You know, the right thing filled with the wrong stuff causes a lot of problems, and so that's what we talked about. Don't be filled with the wrong stuff. All right, and then we talk about Abraham, and it's verse here. So then, those who are of faith are blessed along with Abraham, the man of faith. Abraham was not saved because he was a Jew. Judaism had not Jewishness and Judaism and all that, all the faith of the Jews had not begun at this point. Abraham was saved by faith. All people that come to God by faith are blessed. All peoples that come to God by faith are children of Abraham. And then talk about the aspects of the law, how the law causes struggle and it cannot bring forth blessings. It's actually this whole thought of a curse. And so know those types of things. And then how one is not justified by the law, but they're justified by faith. The righteous live by faith. Life comes to those who believe. The righteous shall live by faith. And the law is not of faith, rather the one who does them shall live by them. You kind of hear some great verses to explain to you that we're not justified by the works of law. And that doesn't do that. So those are good verses to know. And then I just showed this picture, maybe the last class, and kind of the old covenant is a picture of bondage, that we don't have any hope in that covenant. But instead, we die with Christ. We believe in Christ. We die with Christ. And then we are buried with Christ. We're raised and walking in the newness of life. The Spirit of Christ is in us. There's a picture of God's laws and His promises. All right. All right. So that's your review. It's not very long there, but you can maybe pause or do whatever you need to do to be able to get those things in your mind and kind of work through some of those things. Okay. Also, you will have a review in your forum that you can look over as well. Okay. All right. Well, have a blessed day, and just pray you do well on your exam. It starts tomorrow. God bless you, and have a great day.